Yo, what up, family? It's been a minute, I know, but getting started today. About to put some new skins on the seats. All right, let's go. I'm gonna start off by removing the plastics here and here. I've never done this before, so I'm not sure if I need to, but I'm going to need to get access to all the areas where the fabric folds over. So I figure removing the plastic would help me. I'll let you know if I needed to do it or not as we move forward. Now, I'm also going to be taking this part off because I'm going to be doing Headrest TVs. So I'll show you that process, but I'm going to put it on time lapse so we can make this faster. Let's go. I'm not going to say you need to remove the side pieces, but for me, I feel like it allows you more access to the areas that you need to get access to in order to remove the leather. So I'm glad that I removed it, but it might be possible without it. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say not possible, because there's this piece right here. This piece right here would sit right here and impede access to this area here, which you need to be able to pry the plastic clips off. It's going to be kind of difficult for me to do this with one hand, so I'm going to put you back on time lapse, and when I'm finished, I'll discuss exactly what was required to remove the leather. But you know, you're going to be removing here. I'm going to need to get in and probably take out these hog rings here, because you see it's connected via hog ring here, and there's probably going to be some more as we go down in between there. So again, like I said, even if I was up close and personal with the camera, it'd probably be difficult to show you everything. So I'll walk you through it when it's all said and done. There's another hog ring here. There's another one there. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of challenging to remove this, at least for the base of the seat. All right, so this cable here goes to the heating element on the seat. So we're going to remove it, then unplug it so it can come off with the seat. All right, so the heating element is attached to the seat, obviously. So this needs to come out. I'm hoping that the replacement seat has one as well. So they have hog ring pliers, but I just used the needle nose pliers. Got the hog ring from here, that's one. And there's another one that I had to remove that was here. The same on the opposite side. One here and one up here. Now there's a piece of plastic, you can see it sewed on here, I had to remove. Same thing here. not too difficult. And it exposes 1, 2, 3 hog rings. So let's pop those out. Try not to be too aggressive with it because you want to be able to put them back. But it's not the end of the world. I have replaced hog rings with zip ties in the past. So again, it's not the end of the world. Nothing says JDM like zip ties, right? So all I'm doing now is just pulling it through. I think I got everything that I needed to removed. So I'm just pulling it through now. Okay, I feel like there's some hog rings holding it in the seats. You're going to see them throughout. Okay, so that might be a little bit difficult for me to show you, but there's going to be a couple more hog rings as we go. Probably all along here, and probably some coming across here. In addition to removing the hog rings, you're going to need to remove this 12mm bolt right here. It actually goes through the fabric. There you go. So this is where the 12mm bolt goes in on both sides. So once you remove that and the hog rings, it comes right off. So as you're looking at the new skin, a couple of differences. We notice I don't see any wires for the heated seat. And if you look here, the heater element is really, it's not much right here, and that's kind of disheartening. I thought it was all through the seat. doesn't really have much. That's sad. And if you look at if you compare the two, it has a lot of, my assumption is that this is the one that we would use to replace this one, and these would just sit here. This is the replacement for these. The hook apparatus is a little bit different. It does not have a hog ring in the same area. It looks like we're gonna have to make our own hole. But before I do anything, I'm just gonna test fit just to see. I might just have figured out a way to make life a little bit easier on myself. So let's see if we can take this tray all the way off. Like I said, you can use hog ring pliers. You can go get a set of hog ring pliers. But I use needle nose. I use channel locks. Because you have various different sizes of channel locks, right? So I use whatever tools I have. I haven't come across a situation where I felt like I specifically needed hog ring pliers. I'm not telling you not to get them. I'm saying I haven't had a need to get a set. So we're gonna keep going, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so like I said, you can use hog ring or you can use zip ties. I'm gonna show you how to use the zip ties, and you're not going to be able to see on this side. You're not going to be able to tell a difference. The way I do it is I try to get the hog ring as close to a tight C as I can. If you have a hog ring that looks like this, or one that looks like this, it makes it difficult, especially in a tight space. It makes it difficult to bring it together. So what I do is I put a thumb or a finger underneath the metal bar that runs in the foam, and then with the open end of the C up, I slide the part for the leather in through that channel, right? So sometimes you need to make that space a little bit bigger, which is what I'm doing right now. And then you slide that plastic piece in and turn the C towards you so that it hooks the top, and then you use the pliers and you pinch. It's really difficult to record this part, but you use the pliers to squeeze the C. Boom. And that's what it looks like when it's done. So now I'm going to show you how much faster it is with a zip tie. And you tell me if there's a difference. So here we go. All right, zip tie is holding here, hog ring is holding here. Now let's come over here and go like so. Can you tell the difference? You can't. All right, so I'm gonna continue with hog rings, but let's say I get one that's like this and it's too much of a hassle for me to bend it back in the direction it needs to go and so on and so forth, or the shape it needs to go. I'll just bypass that and use hog rings. All right, let's go. See, none of this stuff is hard. I would say it's more time consuming and tedious than hard or difficult. If you got the time, you got the patience, you can do it yourself. The challenge for me right now is time. Both my boys are active in sports, and I try to make everything. I try to make all their games, all their tournaments, so on and so forth. So my challenge right now is time. Like I said, if you have the time and the patience, the desire to do this stuff, it's not difficult. And if you have the money, sure, pay somebody to do it. I think it looks pretty good. You could use spray adhesive to get it to sit a little bit better in certain areas. I don't want to use spray adhesive just yet because I want to try to manipulate it on frame itself. And once it's on the seat and the frame, I'll use the heat gun and, you know, try to manipulate it by tightening certain areas down here, because right here looks good. Right here looks good, which is what you're gonna see most of the time. Right here looks good. I would like it to be a little bit more snug here, but again, I don't know if that's because it doesn't have the frame attached. All right, so let's go. All right, so in order to remove the back of the seat, let's see if I can get to these 2 screws. There are 2 screws. Unfortunately, well, it's in this region, right? Once I remove, there it is, there's one right there. There's 2 screws, one on that side, one on this side. All right, so check this out. I did this wrong last time and I had to step away from it and I had to order another one. If you notice, there are 3 seams, I guess, indentations, I don't know what you want to call it. And the actual seat only has 1. I thought it was a flaw just because it's aftermarket. Turns out I put the back here instead of the base, and I had to order a new base. I mean, a new back. Now, see all those wrinkles? I'm gonna use the heat gun to get that out. It's already been attached. You can see all the ash on my hands from forcing it in the forcing the leather in and making all of this work. But this is pretty much wrapped up. The top is pretty much wrapped up. I'm going to make some incisions for the headrests. I don't know what you call it, where the headrest goes. You can see them right here. I'm just gonna make a couple of cuts so I can slide this in and then get the headrest TVs mounted. All right, let's go. All right, this is pretty straightforward. Basically, you saw me take off the back. All I did was reinstall the back. Same process as doing the base. I'll show you that here in a second. Very simple. I love these things. I used to be able to get them with DVD players. Now they don't offer DVD players anymore. At least I haven't seen it. Then again, I wasn't really looking for DVD players, considering this is going to plumb to your head unit. You can run your DVD through your head unit. Show the image here. It's going to have plug for headphones. Some of them have USB. Some of them come with video games already built in. But you get them with 3 different covers. I like that because you can remove this cover and get it embroidered. You can, depending on what color interior you have, whether it's gray, tan, or black, you're good. If these don't fit perfectly in your seat, they have adapters. But for us with Lexuses, Toyotas, they fit perfectly. So basically what you're going to do is fish this through the hole on the top of the seat and force this down in there. It's going to be a little bit snug, but it'll work. You force it down in there, and then I like to zip tie these to the ribs on the back of the seat just to keep it, you know, in where you want it. And then it comes out on the right hand side or the left hand side of the seat, depending on where the center console is. All right, and that's it. Very easy. Let's go. All right, so I showed you before, but hopefully this is a better angle. So this is the bracket, I guess you could say, the hole, and then this is the hole that it's going into. I got a longer screwdriver than I was using initially, and I'm going to, hey, don't do that. Let me get that screw. So I guess the best way to do this is it would be to have a magnetized screwdriver. But we're gonna keep working, see if I can't get it by hanging it down. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to record and do this, but I'm gonna try. All right, so I got tired of dropping the screw, so I taped it to the screwdriver. Let's see if that makes a difference. All right, so I have removed the one that you saw me install previously, the wrong one, and now I'm going to install the correct one. All right, so I'm not going to record this part because it's the same process that I've already shown. I just want you to know that there is a difference. There is a difference between the base and the back. They look different. One seam in the middle on the base, 3 seams in the middle on the back. Okay, It's kind of confusing, or could be confusing, because the seam on the sides look very similar, right? So be mindful of that. Take your time, slow down, and you'll get it. The back I was able to do with using the tape against the screwdriver and the screw. The headrest is in, the wire is routed down on the right hand side of the driver's seat. It's going to be routed down on the left hand side of the passenger seat, so it can go up through the center console to what would be the radio. All right, let's go. All right, family, it's been a couple of days for me, a couple of seconds for you. I have been working. I got parts that came in, working on the air ride setup for something. I'm trying to get better at having videos in the bank, so I'm not keeping you waiting as long. But back to the seat. So I still have not had an opportunity to put the heat gun or an iron with fabric over it to smoothen out those wrinkles, but I will do that by the time it gets in the car. What I wanted to show you is basically everything looks like finished. The leather looks perfect, right? I used loom to wrap the cable for the headrest itself to make everything look nice and professional. Even though you're not going to see much of it, I took this opportunity. I wanted to show you how this looks, and this is without me using any spray adhesive, right? It's just pulling and stretching the fabric. This is how it's going to look in the car. So like I said, if you have the time and you have the patience, you can make it work, right? You don't need to spend thousands of dollars sending it to an upholstery shop. Again, if you got the money, by all means. We don't all have the money to do that. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you. I took the opportunity. So again, loom, zip tie, routed everything to where it's not going to impede anything when the seat is traveling up and down. I actually routed it through the excess part of the fabric that I had. So you can't really see anything. It would appear to be factory. And then this is going to be really low down, so it's not really going to stand out to anybody. If you look here, I have ambient light or accent lighting, whatever you want to call it. I zip tied it because over time, sometimes the adhesive comes off. And not only that, right here is not a smooth surface. So I just had it touching here, the adhesive touching here, the double-sided tape, and then zip tied it to where it's not going anywhere. So even if the tape fails, that's not going anywhere. Now, I also put it in the front. Right here does have a flat surface for me to make the double-sided tape to. So I just adhered it there. I do worry about it failing. Like I said, over time, adhesive wears or it starts to fail. And if that's the case, then I'll figure out something else to just put another strip. But anyway, that's underneath the seat for accent lighting. And you'll see that once it's in the car. The kit comes with 4 strips. I'll put these 2 on the other seat. And again, this stuff will be routed through the middle up to the center console to get power. And that's it. We're done. At least with this seat. Video's kind of long already, so I figured I would just show you one seat. Obviously, all I'm going to do is pull out the second seat and do exactly what I showed you here. Thank you for watching. If you found this useful, if you found this informative, go ahead and give me a like and a share, please. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. Thanks for watching.